Hello, and welcome to my Season 19 Pre-Failinks tier list for Pokémon Unite. If you're curious and want to maybe be featured in the next one, check me out live on twitch.tv/thatravencrow, link in the description. I could be streaming right now, never know. I stream practically daily, and I'd love to see you over there. So, without further ado, here's the video. Tier list time, Season 19, new tier list, new things, ooh. Do I have water? I do have a water. That's going to be necessary because I'm going to be doing a lot of talking. Let's get started on this tier list, shall we? Okay, so we got the best. There's only one. There's only one that I would rule as the absolute best out of all the Pokemon right now. We got the EX tier, which let's just do this real quick, shall we? Yeah, EX ones are their own special thing, aren't they? Okay, so we got the so good tier. We got the amazing choice tier. We got the best friends tier. We got the C tier. We got the definitely not the best tier. And we got the everybody cry now tier. Now, a little explanation for all these tiers. So we got the so good. That's pretty self-explanatory. S, amazing. Like, so good. Spectacular choice. Amazing choice for A tier. Best friends for B tier. C tier. Definitely not the best. And everybody cry now, which I've named that as if I look at these Pokemon on my team, I want to cry. So, what we're going to do first, we are going to go in order of class. So first off, we're going to go over all the all-rounders. First up, we got Azumarill. Because this is going to be a solo queue tier list as well. What performs best in solo queue, I find. Now, Azumarill is a very solid choice early as well. It can be good in the jungle. It's decently reliable. The only thing that can make it a little bit difficult is later on in the game, where it loses a little bit of its power. The Whirlpool buff was nice. It's very good at invading with Play Rough as well. Play Rough Whirlpool, it's very good at doing that. Being very good at oppressive in lane. So for Azumarill, I would probably put it in the amazing choice tier. That's all I got to say about that. Garchomp. Now, there are some things with Garchomp that I really like, but there's some things with Garchomp that can make him really definitely not the best choice. Specifically also in solo queue. Right? So Chomp, when he gets his levels and he gets fed, he can be a beast. I would say, at best, probably amazing choice. I'd say he can be an amazing choice. However, there are some things that can hinder him pretty bad early game as well, which can make it difficult to start, difficult to do much, but he can do a lot of damage early that not a lot of people expect, which can make him pretty good, which makes weakness policy a very viable choice with him as well. So thinking, because remember, it's a tier list, it's in comparison to every other Pokemon in the game, I'm gonna put Garchomp in the C tier. Next up we got Scizor. Now Scizzor's been kind of wreaking havoc recently, ever since it got the Swords Dance buff. It does make it a little bit hard for placements, I will be honest, because this also counts for Scyther kinda, but I can get into that later. So Scizor out-sustains Garchomp. I would probably say on par with Azumarill. Nah, I would say Scizor is probably top of amazing choice right now. In all honesty, like the amount of sustain. Early game, he can do crazy damage. Late game, he can be a monster as well if he's fed. Pretty good in lane as well. He can stack super easy. He has good movement options with quick attack. Yeah, overall, amazing choice. Buzzwole. I'm not saying anything more. So good. Yes, the nerfs hurt, but oh my goodness, still, Buzzwole is an amazing choice regardless of these current nerfs. He's still Buzzwole, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Tyranitar. Now, the only thing that's making Tyranitar a bad choice right now is, I would say, it takes way too long to get online for such a mediocre Pokemon. Now, you could say, oh, but it also takes Garchomp ages to get online. Yes. The difference is, Garchomp is better than Tyranitar in a lot of different ways. The only saving grace right now, which is why I'm not putting him into Everybody Cry now, is because of one thing. Sandstorm. It is the only thing that can protect people against... protect your team against the opposing scoring with Ray Shield. It is such an obscure little thing that I don't think enough people know about. But yeah, it works. It's the one thing that makes him not into Everybody Cry now. Moving on, we got Charizard. Now, Charizard has been kinda everywhere on this tier list at some point in the game. I will be honest. But I feel as though right now he is in this kind of the same realm as Garchomp. Whereas early, he's not great. But if you go into jungle and you get your experience, he can do something. And then his Unite move as well. Super low cooldown, super great Unite move. I'm going to put him in the B tier. I think Chai goes in the B tier. Its Unite move can be amazing. You can do some good plays with Char as well. He doesn't have very good secure, but I feel as though it can be more reliable than Garchomp in some areas, purely just because of his Unite move. That's why he's going in this tier. Okay, next up, we got the Bears. So, Single Strike. I'm going to put an amazing choice. A little bit above a Azumarill, below Sizzle. The reason for that is because of his amazing secures. Super good. And if played right, and like if we're talking best of abilities, I could put him in S tier. So good. However, with easier to play Pokemon, like Buzzwole, and you just got to consider everything, right? I'm going to put him in Amazing Choice, below Scizor, above Azumarill. Next we got Water Bear. The nerfs hurt this Pokemon. That is a fact. It is still good, I find. It's... if you run full cooldown, it's kind of like nothing changed. So for that, I'm going to put it in the best friends tier, above Charizard. I still think it can do some damage. Let's go with Machamp. Alright, Machamp, yeah, he got the buffs. However, the buffs did nothing. Machamp is still Machamp. So Machamp is a very solid B tier choice. That's all I'm going to say on that. Zarino. Let me ask you one question. When was the last time you saw Zarina in a game? Think about it. Think real hard. There is a reason for that. Zarina, right now, is not that good. One might say that if I were to even look at this on my team, I would start crying. And that's going to be the first addition to our E tier. Alright, so next up, we've got Blaziken. Blaziken can be good, like, extremely good. Like, one might even argue, like, so good. But there are some things that make it kind of hard to put him up there. So for now, and this is susceptible to change, because I like Blaziken. However, I feel as though just being a 3-stage kind of hurts it a bit. But when it gets its Unite move, and it can change between its movesets, and you have someone who's like, again, this is Pokemon at their peak. I feel like he could be in so good, but for now, I'm gonna say below Sizzle. That's purely because Sizzle seems to be a lot more. Let's go with consistent. Sizzle's a lot more consistent with what he does. Mimikyu, so good. Some people would disagree with this, but I think Mimikyu is, at the very least, top of the amazing choice, or is in the so good category. It is mediocre early, but as soon as it gets Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak, it can be a menace to deal with a lot of the build that you go with is great. For now, I'm going to put it at the very top of amazing choice, because again, it's competing against a whole cast that could be in so good. You don't know. It's going to be the second addition to so good. I think Mimikyu is amazing. Alright, next up, Scyther. Scyther did get buffs. Scyther is a pretty good assassin. So I am going to put it above Charizard. Different reasons, of course. But I think it kind of deserves to be there right now. Yeah. Okay. Who do we got next? We got Metagross. Metagross is good. The nerfs a while ago did hurt it, and you're not seeing as much play. However, I do think Metagross is a very good choice in general. Would I say I'm best friends with him? Am I best friends with Metagross? I would say so. I'd say Metagross right now is top of the best friends. Gyarados. Moving on to Gyarados. Oof. This is... Now, this is a little tricky. Because Gyarados is amazing right now. I could argue here in the so good. If I'm being completely honest. I think it deserves to say though. The buffs were good. Oh, does it though? Does Gyarados deserve to be there right now? See, like, again, Magikarp struggles early. Can be a little bit hard to get online sometimes, but when you do, it can be a monster. So, right now, I am gonna put Gyarados at the top of the A tier. For now, it could change. But for now, we're gonna move on. Dragonite. Now, I have seen a lot of Dragonite recently, surprisingly so. And I think, depending on the build you are running, it could be an amazing choice, or it could be near the bottom of best friends. So Outrage is, I don't like saying this, but effectively a better Garchomp. In all honesty. The only thing that I guess Garchomp would outshine is sustainability. However, from what I know, Dragonite can just deal more damage. It stuns a lot more. It can chase really well. If you have this in your jungle and it chose like E-Speed or Dragon Dance, it can chase. It can chase you down. So for Dragonite, I would probably put it in, like right now, if it's Hyper Beam, I would say C, purely because it's not as consistent. It is very good at securing objectives. However, there are some things that other Pokemon can just do better. Like if your whole game plan with Dragonite is to secure objectives, you can play Single Strike, and you can do that even better. Because in order to even make that more viable to secure objectives, you'll have to run full heal. And that's an item slot that, do you really want to run that? So I think for now, Dragonite, considering both sides and other Pokemon that you can put into that perspective, I'm going to put in the best friends tier. Who do you got next? Aegislash. Ooh, okay, this Aegislash is an interesting one right now, I would say. Does it deserve to be there, or does it deserve to be higher? I'm going to say it's there, because if I were to see a Metagross or an Aegislash, I feel more confident seeing a Metagross on my team, but I feel more confident seeing an Aegislash than I do with Urshifu Rapid Strike. Lucario. When the game first came out, you were a monster, weren't you? You were terrorizing lanes, and now you're kinda... But, Lucario, again, not having an evolution is a huge asset in our current meta. How would I feel about Lucario? I would put him here, in all honesty. The reason for this is that if you have a look at Metagross, it's super good at taking on a whole bunch of people. Its Unite move is okay. Aegislash is very good at doing the same thing. It can throw a lot of people with Sacred Sword. It can push people around with Wide Guard. Lucario has Power Up Punch as its only real stun move. Its Unite move is good, and Power Up Punch can do a lot of damage. Extreme Speed is still good. However, I think I'd prefer to see an Aegislash. Again, Lucario is great. Lucario is great. No, like, looking at this now, honestly, Rapid Strike is seeming a little bit... It's still better than Machamp, though, I think, in some aspects. Like, again, if you're running full cooldown and nothing's really changed except for maybe the damage, like, again, run Muscle Band on it, you can do a lot of damage. You can bully mediocre lanes super good. I still think Urshifu Rapid Strike can be a super good jungler, but I might... because I'm comparing it to everything here, so I might move him down a bit, because I'd prefer to see that than a Char or a Scyther, but Dragonite, Machamp, everyone else above him, I think is good, and I think this is roughly where Lucario lies in this mix, in my opinion. And with that, we have all of the all-rounders done, and now we can move on to just double checking. Yep, all-rounders done. I've organized it well. I'm not even going to be discussing EX Pokemon. I might discuss Mewtwo Y for a bit because of the changes, and maybe Miraidon and where he kind of sits, but we'll see how it goes. So next up we got Cinderace. Okay, Cinder is good at what Cinder does. It's a very good... it does a lot of damage with its auto attacks. 3-stage evolution, again, hurts it just a little bit. So, given what we know about Cinderace in the current meta being evolutions, I would say Cinder finds themselves in the B tier. Cinder's good. Cinder can do a lot of damage. It doesn't have amazing secure unless you're playing Pyro Ball or you know how to use its Unite move properly. But I think Cinderace can sit pretty comfortably in the B tier as a good choice. It can be a good choice. However, I do think there are better choices to fill out his role. Next up, we got Sylveon. Not much to say in regards to Sylveon. It's good that it evolves at level 4, so it can be a very good lane partner. However, I feel as though in this current... like I said before, it's currently an EV meta, right? A lot of the evolutions are super good right now. And in comparison to the other evolutions right now, it's just not kind of upholding its end of the evolution deal. It is, I do think it can be good. Mystical Fire is a good dash. It can deal some unexpected damage. Hyper Voice is still pretty good. So I would put it in the same tier as Cinderace right now. But honestly, above Cinderace. And this is because you get it at level 4. It can be super good in lane. Its Unite move is... it got a buff not too long ago, so it does do a little bit more damage than you'd think. And it's good for survivability. It's good for running away. If you really need to, it's a very good panic survive, get out of that option. Glaceon. S. So good. So unbelievably broken. I do not need to say anything more on that. If you play this game, you know Icicle Spear, and you know when someone plays Glaceon well, it can be absolutely absurd. Absurd damage. Espeon. The stored power nerfs is exactly what comes to mind. Now, Espeon is very good currently in a lot of ways. Early, it is amazing. It has good secure with Swift. Stored power, though, I think is still amazing. And I'm gonna put it in the so good tier currently. It's an EV meta, and its passive ability is still good, still very good. Next up, we got Cram. Cram is a funny little guy, and I'm gonna put this funny little guy in the B tier, above Sylveon and Cinderace. I think Cram is very good. I think Cram can be very reliable. Cram can move around a lot, and it can be super annoying to deal with. His Unite move is situationally good. However, you can just kind of move out of the way of it. Yeah, I think that's a good place to put Cram. Alright, Ninetales. Now, Ninetales is a tough one, in all honesty. Because there are some... I feel like Ninetales can be a very comp-heavy Pokemon, whether or not it performs well or bad. It is consistent. It does get bullied a little bit, though. Especially if you were to choose like Avalanche Blizzard, you don't really have many movement options outside of eject button. But I would prefer to see Ninetales over Sylveon and Cinder. So for now, that's where Ninetales is going to go. Delphox, A tier. Amazing choice. Delphox early is pretty good. Delphox, when you get Fire Spin, can put extremely good pressure on lanes. It can put amazing pressure on breaking goals. It is extremely good at team fights with its Unite move, pushing people around, Fire Blast. Yeah, Delphox is a solid A tier for me. Next we got Decidueye. Now, Decidueye is good, but he can get bullied extremely hard, especially by this current meta. If you have a look here, up here, Buzzwole can grab, move, very mobile. Same with Mimikyu. Glaceon and Espeon, if it sees a Decidueye, that is going to go straight for him. Especially with Icicle Spear. And that one Icicle Spear and that Decidueye is dead. Because he's super squishy. However, Spirit Shackle is still very good at sniping the Eevees right now. And and squishier Pokemon such as Delphox or Cinder or Ninetales. And it can make it a decent support ranged attacker right now. However, early it can be kind of rough, and I don't know if I'd prefer to see a Cinder or a Decidueye right now. See, I'm a little bit biased because I personally like playing Decidueye Spirit Shackle. It can be super satisfying. Running attack weight on it just gets more damage. However, scoring can be difficult. Pushing can be difficult. Its Unite move can be very good at that, though. I'm going to put it here. Above Sylveon, below Ninetales. Purely because Ninetales, I feel, is more consistent. And you can have some rough Decidueye games. Actually, I'm going to put it there. Sylveon is more consistent than that. And I think that's a pretty good place for Decidueye. Greninja. Ooh boy. Greninja has had a lot of play recently. Falls in the same category as these three. 3-stage evolution. Not amazing in lane. Kind of needs to get to its level 5 as soon as possible. The difference here is that when he evolves, he gets his next move, right? He gets Double Team or Smokescreen, which can be very beneficial, as opposed to simply evolving like these two. Whoops. Simply evolving and just getting stat increase. For that, I'm gonna put Greninja above Ninetales. Actually, above Cram. I like seeing a good Greninja. Greninja, when played well, can do extremely well. It can be a very good carry. So I might even put him into Amazing Choice for that. And I think that's where Greninja deserves to be right now. Moving on, we have Duraludon. Now, despite Duraludon being such a boring Pokemon, his win rate does not lie. He's a single stage evolution. He can do well in lane because, again, he is a single stage evolution, so he remains fairly consistent throughout the game. He belongs where Ninetales and Sylveon are. I prefer to see Sylveon. No, I would prefer to see a Duraludon over Sylveon right now. But do I? Do I? See, Duraludon's one of these weird Pokemon, right? Where he kind of falls in the same lane as like Cinder, but he also kind of reminds me of Cram, weirdly enough. He's weird. He's a super weird Pokemon. I'm gonna put him here, right there, because man, I can't make up my mind. I'm just gonna put him there for now. We can reassess Duraludon later. Mew. Moving on to Mew. Mew is a solid pick. You need to know how to play Mew. You need to know how to use its moves. Mew can be a very difficult Pokemon to play. And for that, I do think it's either going to be in Best Friends or it feels wrong putting it in C tier right now. Yeah, no, it doesn't deserve to be in C tier at all. Okay, looking at it and comparing it to all these other Pokemon here, I think they're maybe there. But if you were to think about what Mew can do, and the kind of plays you can pull off with Mew, I say it sits very comfortably in that Amazing Choice category. Next up, we have Venusaur. The only thing I'm going to say is, oh, how the mighty have fallen. Right now, I still think it's an amazing choice. Solar Beam Giga Drain is still a very good choice. It's very similar to kind of what Mew does with Solar Beam. It's effectively the same move. Its Unite move is a very good ranged, huge chunk of damage. It is a decent option in lane. Its basic attacks are great. Its skills early are pretty mediocre. When you get Giga Drain, it can be a little bit better, and you can be kind of oppressive with it. Solar Beam is just an amazing source of damage. And it's a very, very good ranged option. So I'm going to put it at the bottom of the amazing choice tier for now. Next up, we got Pikachu. Pikachu, right now, amazing choice. Amazing choice, especially if you're playing a draft game. You can go either way with Pikachu, and I think he is an outstanding choice. He is consistent. He's super good early. Did he get buffs? He got buffs to something. I can't exactly remember what it was or when he got it. But Electro Ball is amazing. Volt Tackle, that's great. It's a stun. You can do... I personally prefer to do Electro Ball, Thunderbolt, as you keep your range. You're not throwing yourself in. Has a very low cooldown later, and it is a super reliable source of damage. Plus, when you get your Unite move, you spam it. You spam your Unite move. You get it back up so quickly. It is an amazing choice right now. Gardevoir. I think Gardevoir goes here. Maybe even a little bit higher. Because right now, special attackers are all the rage. Special attackers are amazing in our current meta. Gardevoir, its Unite move, outstanding. Mwah, beautiful Unite move. If you position that well, it can set up for some amazing plays. Moonblast, that has a crazy stun. Psyshock, you get that at level 5. That Ralts is decent in lane, but when it gets to level 5, it can dominate lane. So that's why I'm going to put it there, below Pikachu, purely because it can be a little bit inconsistent at times. And looking at it, it's kind of making me rethink where Delphox is. And I might put Pikachu at the top and move Delphox below it. I think that's fair. Moving on, we got Chandelure. Again, special attackers. All the rage right now. I'm going to say it's fairly even with Gardevoir. You need to run Chandelure in the jungle, or you have to run him with a very reliable support or defender in lane. Chandelure is not amazing early. However, when it gets either Flamethrower or Overheat, it can be extremely oppressive. I'm not too sure what else to say about Chandelure, really. But yeah, I think he sits right there. Next up, we got Inteleon. Now, Inteleon has been very good for a very long amount of time. Ever since they kind of came out, they've been super consistent, very good, and I think that still reigns true. Early Water Gun, insane confirm for that early in the game. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, it has gotten its fair share of nerfs, and it probably doesn't do as much as it used to. However, I still think Inteleon is a radical choice. So it's going to sit at the top of the amazing choice category right now. Dracopult. Again, physical attacker, probably not faring as well as some of the special attackers right now, but I would argue it is roughly around there. Similar to Mewtwo Y, once you get its basics going, or in Mewtwo's case, you get your Mega, it has an area of effect from where you hit. And thinking about Dracopult, on top of having its Unite move as just another move, it can destroy early. The only reason I am putting him here right now is because of Phantom Force. If you start dominating early when you're going jungle with this mon, with Phantom Force, you can steamroll games. And once again, I'll say, EV meta, Dracopult is a very good counter to these. Very good counter. Dracopult does a lot of damage. They're not very physically defensive. If you catch them, Unite move, Phantom Force, destroy them with your attacks. That being said, he is very squishy. So you need to play safe if you were to play Dracopult. And I think that is all for the attackers right now. Okay, that's the attackers done. Now, moving on to speedsters. First up, we got Absol. Absol is, how do you say, fine? You know, like, compare it to Zoroark or Meowscarada, right? Zoroark right now, crazy good. Meowscarada, insane. Absol, kinda meh. Not saying, again, this tier list, not saying you can't perform well with these Pokemon. I think Absol is a little bit meh, so it's going to be our second addition into the C tier. Next up, we got Zoroark. Next up, we got Meowscarada. Alright, so next up we have Dodrio, right? Dodrio is kind of an odd choice. You know? Like, he can be kind of hard to play sometimes, right? He's a 2-stage evolution. He gets his move at level 5. I would say he's kind of rough to play right now. I'm gonna put him in C tier, but above Absol. I don't really think I need to explain why Meowscarada and Zoroark are kind of up here right now. They are insane. Insanely good. Crazy good right now. Very, very good options in the jungle. Meowscarada. Yeah, Meowscarada got nerfed. Yeah, Zoroark got nerfed. Feigned Attack is still there. Feigned Attack is still untouched. That's why Zoroark's going up there. Meowscarada, I feel as though we all know why Meowscarada's going up there. Either build you choose. Amazing choice. Amazing at jumping on people. Its passive ability is amazing. That's the reason those are up there. Dodrio, a bit better than Absol, so C tier, but slightly above. Next up we got Zeraora. Now, there has been kind of a hype around Zeraora recently, and he's been slowly getting more and more recognition as time goes by. The buffs that he got a little while ago were nice. He gets his first move at level 5 instead of level 6 before, and his Unite move at level 10. That was bad. But now there's been some more changes. The Unite meta is changing, and I think Zeraora is in the best friends tier. I think he's better than Absol and Dodrio. Even potential A material. All honesty. I think Zeraora can be a very solid choice. Again, being a single stage evolution, he does have a bit of an advantage, as he doesn't have to crawl to level up and try and evolve. And you can make the same argument for Absol. However, I think Zeraora can just perform better in general. So I think Zeraora is solid in best friends tier. Genuinely think so. Leafeon. Okay, I could just chuck it up here and just say nothing, but I think it's fallen a little bit. I think it's fallen into A tier. I don't know why I put them there. Get over there. Get over there into the Speedster category. The reason I think Leafeon has fallen a bit isn't because it's bad. Leafeon is amazing. Its Unite move is awesome. It has very good variety with its moves now, especially because Aerial Ace got buffed. but you gotta remember we're comparing it to Meowscarada and Zoroark. And it is an EV meta, so Leafeon is an extremely solid choice. But is it better than the other Pokemon that are presented here? Because we gotta account for things like this. And looking at Zoroark and Meowscarada, and looking at Leafeon as a whole, I think it goes into the top of the amazing choice for the Speedsters. Wholeheartedly. Next up, we got Talonflame. Unless we need to talk about Leafeon more, but I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. You know what? Let's do this, shall we? Let's add a row above. Let's call it the amazing choice plus. And this is currently where Leafeon sits. So now we'll move on to Talonflame. Now, Talon. Where to put you? This is a toughie. This is a tough one. Because there are some things that Talon can do very well. Also depends on the build you're playing. Like if you do fly, you can secure objectives, you can jump on squishies, such as like all four up here. You can jump on them, kind of just destroy them. And like, but the same can be said about like Zeraora. You can just kind of jump on them and be done with them. But I think it deserves to be in this kind of B tier range right here. Is it better than Zeraora though, right now? I don't think so. Screw it. It's better than Zeraora right now, actually. Because I'm trying to think of consistency as well. Like, as soon as Talon gets Fly, there's a lot you can do with it. Zeraora, but we're thinking at peak, right? Oh man, this is tough. Zeraora goes there, Talon is slightly worse. But that's just because Zeraora at its peak can perform better than Talonflame, I think. Last but not least, Gengar. He goes in C. I'm not having any questions. Moving on to defenders, we got Slowbro. Bam! S tier. Slowbro. Always S tier. Slowbro is absolutely crazy as a defender. Its Unite move alone is amazing. Next up, we got the pseudo-legendary Goodra. So, Goodra. Early, it's actually pretty nice. A lot of people don't think so, but it is. You get like Bubble, Tackle. You can bully the heck out of some people with this. I've had a few games where I played Goodra and you can just kind of bully the opposing team because they're also extremely tanky. So for that, I am going to put Goodra in the best friends tier. I think Goodra is a solid choice. Next up, we got Lapras. Lapras has kind of fallen since its dominant stance. I don't think it's as good as Goodra. But Lapras is a best friend. That's where I'm going to put it. Umbreon. I don't need to. They buffed it. They buffed Foul Play. They buffed Wish. It's now a support. It's a better support. It's a very good defender. It can bully people extremely hard. And you could argue S, or you could argue Amazing Choice Plus. It is in this realm. This Umbreon is crazy good right now. I'm going to put it in Amazing Choice because Leafeon looks lonely. Crustle. I'm going to put him in the best friends category because I like Crustle. Crustle is fun. Crustle can push people around. He's pretty damn good early as well. He can do stuns. He can do a surprising amount of damage. He can stack really well. When you choose your first move, you can choose either Shell Smash or what was the other one? Shell Smash or Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb very good at trapping. You can set up for some very good comps as well. I think it's just a solid choice. I like Crystal a lot. Snorlax. I've been wanting to talk about Snorlax. I've been looking at him this whole time. So, Snorlax, he is fine. The buffs were super nice. Block is even better now, and you can tank a lot better than you could before. However, let's take a quick look at the current meta, right? We got Meowscarada, we got Zoroark, we got, I'm going to say Mimikyu. I think Mimikyu has insane potential. And we got Buzzwole. Now, what is something that is relatively common throughout a lot of the kind of Pokemon up here? Anyone got any guesses? I'll tell you. A lot of these Pokemon have very good movement or can just shut down Snorlax. So let's have a look at Slowbro. Slowbro against Snorlax. What does Slowbro do? Slowbro can just shut them down, if absolutely necessary. Meowscarada, Zoroark, you can just go around that block. Things like that. Snorlax is good. Never play Flaillax. Heavy Slam block is good, but I think it is still fine. It's about, all of them are above Lapras. Moving on to Blastoise. Amazing choice. Untouched, really good. Maybe even S. Blastoise is so good. So amazingly good right now. And that's for a multitude of reasons. Alright, reason number 1, super tanky. Reason number 2, early, he's got stun and he's got push. If you jump on someone squishy, Skull Bash, push them. Get your attacker or your speedster to kill them, right? Reason number 3, he's very good to stack with. Now, this is more of a personal thing, but like, if you want to run stacking and you want to make him more tanky, he can stack pretty damn well. Reason number 4, his Unite move. His Unite move is so good, right? You, in a bush, or you're out and defending your team, use your Unite move. People do not want to get hit by that. It is an insane throw. You get a massive shield, and then also with a eject button, you can surprise people. And then as soon as you pull it off, you can reposition yourself and push everyone in a direction that you want them to be. It's so much crowd control. It's so much tankiness. It's so much goodness, all in a turtle package. That's why it's going in the so good too. Mamoswine. Now, Mamoswine has been kind of here and there as of late. I've seen people play him and they perform well. I've seen people play him and they perform bad. Mamoswine is very good early, but I feel as though kind of falls off near the end of the game. And because of this, I'm moving Goodra up to an amazing choice and putting Mamoswine here. That is genuinely what I think. The more I think about Goodra and what it can do late, it's a very good single target, it's very good at staying alive, and it's just extremely good at bullying. That's kind of what defenders do. Defenders bully. And if you have a look at Umbreon is an insane bully. Blastoise, massive bully. Slowbro, probably the biggest bully you can think of. Yeah, I think Mamoswine goes there. Mamoswine can bully hard early and is also very good at bullying single target Pokemon. However, late, it just kind of falls off a little bit. I don't know. Something about it late just feels like it's not very impactful. Early though, as I keep restating, early it's great, later it falls off. And that's my reason. Trev, amazing choice. Similar to Goodra, it's very good early. It's a 2-stage evolution, so you just have to get it to level 5, and it gets to Trev, it gets Woodhammer, it gets Curse, it gets whatever you want. Either build is great right now. I personally am a Woodhammer Horn Leech. Again, super good at bullying. Unite move's fine, but yeah, stacking with this mon is an insane choice. Yeah, amazing choice. Greedent. Now, Greedent is painful to look at. He's painful to think about. He's painful to look at. One might say that looking at him makes me want to cry. Now, yes, Greedent is good at invading. Yes, Greedent is good at scoring. What does Greedent bring to the table in team fights, really? What does he do? What does he do that any other defender can't? Consistent damage? Is that what I'm hearing right now? Blastoise. Blastoise can do insane damage. Umbreon. Umbreon can do decent damage. Goodra. If you play Goodra right, Goodra can do a lot of damage. Trev. Same wheelhouse. Same wheelhouse as every other defender. Greedent does not fit the defender category. He's more of a speedster. And that's why looking at him makes me want to cry. And with that, we're done with the defenders. So, next up, we have supports. Now, I kind of want to leave Eldegoss till last, as the changes... But we'll go over that. So, first up, we got Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime, that's not Mr. Mime, that's Blissey. Mr. Mime, hello. Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime is a unique case where he is not a supporter, similar to Sableye, only I'll get to Sableye later. And very, like, these three kind of fall in the same category, right? They are disruptors. They disrupt the flow of the opposing team, whether it be making them rage, stunning them, or stunning and dealing damage. There's many different ways that you could position these three. But I am going to put Mr. Mime in C, Sableye in definitely not the best, and Wigglytuff is also going to be in C. Supporters are good, but they're not, like these three supporters specifically, not the best. Definitely not the best. Now, if we look at every other support, real quick. Hot dog. Do we got some supports? Like, alright, look at Blissey. Blissey, super good at single target surviving. If you're running someone like, I don't know, Mewtwo Y, or even Chomp, for example, you can do Helping Hand and just help them rip. And regardless of if you're choosing Safeguard Helping Hand, you have an insane Unite move, which can just keep people alive for as long as you want, really. But Blissey, amazing choice plus, by far. Hooper. These trick buffs are amazing, and I love them. And I'm going to put Hooper in amazing choice as well, below Blissey right now. I think Hooper is amazing. I always thought Hooper was great. The trick buffs are just a nice little thing to show more appreciation towards the Hooper players out there. Clefable, yes, it got nerfed. Yes, it has the lowest win rate out of like any Pokemon right now. I still think Clefable is bloody brilliant. Okay, name another Pokemon that with one move can shut down half this cast. Do it. Name it. You can't. No other Pokemon has a single move that can shut down Zoroark, can shut down Meowscarada, can shut down Leafeon, they can shut down Blaziken, they can shut down, let's have a look, they can shut down Greninja, they can shut down Trev, they can shut down Aegislash, they can shut down so many Pokemon with gravity. On top of that, it has very good healing with Moonlight. Lowest win rate? Nah. Clefable's amazing. I'm gonna put Clefable here, there, here. I'm gonna put Clefable there. I might be a little bit biased, but I think Clefable is outstanding choice. Brilliant. What do we got next? We got Comfey. Comfey, same route, same wheelhouse, I'd say, all honesty. Let's go with... Where do we want to put Comfey? Honestly, I think Comfey sits comfortably here as well. Comfey's a very good choice. Last but not least, Eldegoss. Eldegoss is still great. Its basics do something amazing. It has reliable healing. However, it keeps getting nerf after nerf after nerf. And I think it has slightly fallen off. Ever so slightly. It is still an amazing choice and you love to see it in any team. So I'm going to put it in the amazing choice category as opposed to amazing choice plus or S, which the more I look at it, I'm going to put Blissey in so good. And that pretty much concludes the tier list, but we still have to choose the best. The best of the best out of all the Pokemon here, excluding EX, because they have their own little world up there. Looking at all the Pokemon, we know what the candidates are. We know the potential candidates right now. They're so good. And the more I think, and the more and more I think about it, the best would be a Pokemon that fits on every team. Pokemon that you always want to see. And if I'm being completely honest, I am going to put Umbreon into the best. And that might be surprising. Some. However, Umbreon... I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a feeling I get when I see Umbreon on a team. Like, you know it's going to be a good game. Umbreon is super reliable. Umbreon can bully super hard. The buffs that it did get are super nice. Foul Play can bully some really oppressive Pokemon right now, such as Zoroark, such as Meowscarada, such as Buzzwole, such as Mimikyu, such as Leafeon. Mean Look again. Instead of simply shutting down half the cast, Mean Look can shut down the entire cast, is how I see it. And again, the buffs to Foul Play and the buffs to Wish make it a reliable support, a reliable defender, and above all else, the best choice for your team. And that is the tier list right there. Feel free to have a look at it. Feel free to make your own opinions on it. Feel free to do whatever you want with it. But yeah, this right here, this is that Ravencrow's subjective tier list. I'm going to say that again. Subjective. Thank you all for watching this tier list. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Hey again, Editor Crow here. Just wanted to say thanks for watching my Season 19 tier list for Pokémon Unite. Be sure to check me out live on Twitch if you get the chance, and maybe drop a follow while you're there. I'd greatly appreciate it. And maybe you could subscribe to my channel here on YouTube as well. It'd really be helping me out. Thanks again, and I hope you enjoyed the video.